Welcome back to another episode of State of Play, where today we're talking about the 2019 Hattah Desert Race. And today I'm joined by the man who knows most when it comes to motorsport, John Kontrec. John, thanks for joining me.
No worries, Mitch. Thanks for having us.
Obviously, it's another massive event coming up this year. It's into 22 years now of the Hattah Desert Race. How much are you all looking forward to another big event coming up in the next few weeks?
Well, the event continues to roll every year. As you said, 22 years is a pretty mean achievement in itself for the fact that it's been running every year since then. But the important part to understand is just how big and how important this race is for everybody that's involved with it.
Yeah, and when you mention that, is there some areas in particular, I guess, that spring immediately to mind? We were just having a chat off air about not just the motorbike racers who come in and actually compete in the event, but the manpower that it takes to actually put the race together, and the amount of volunteers that have to put in a fair bit of time is something special.
Well, it is. The guys that come to compete love the event because it's such an important part of the calendar for them. It's very demanding and tough, not only physically on the riders, but the bikes mechanically fail and suffer as well. So it's a great testing bed. But I suppose the real testimony in this is the fact that we've been running for 22 years, primarily with the large majority of volunteers that have been involved with this sport for so many years. We've got guys that attend, that have been involved with different parts of the event, and they're almost like little gears that drive this monolith that is the event that runs. And each guy or each crew of guys have got their own little gear that drives a section, and without it, it doesn't work. You know, we've got guys that have been involved, as an example, in the radio part of it, that are transferring information backwards and forwards across different locations for first aid or recovery or something like that. Some of those guys don't even see the bikes for the whole weekend. So they're there basically churning through the data and pulling it through. But every volunteer does what they do, and it really is I suppose, a glowing light for the region, particularly when people come in to compete and they go away and they go, such a fantastic event and how well it's run. And it really is a lot of volunteers and dedicated people that do their job well.
Yeah, I guess that's got to be a glowing endorsement for the local community and I suppose the Northwest Victoria Motorcycle Club to be able to put on such a brilliant event, being mostly driven by volunteers, and it just gets more and more people coming back year after year. It just seems to be almost a snowball effect. It just won't stop growing.
Well, it's an incredible event. I've been with it for every one of the years we've run, and there were times when the club sort of waned a little and said, you know, do we need to continue doing this, because it was sort of at a club level and really hard to run. But then all of a sudden the numbers started to grow and the recognition for the club started to spread. So all of a sudden you had these people coming back and not wanting to miss it. We've been lucky and very fortunate. We've had some really great sponsors locally, no different to the Mildura Weekly. They've been helping us out over the time as well. But we talk about all of those others that have come on board, national style sponsors that are big branding that have picked it up because they love the event. Mildura is really doing it right, and the people that are involved with it are like a circus. They turn up every year, they put the big top up, we have this amazing weekend of racing, and then everyone goes home happy and just waiting to log on next year to actually enter again. And such is what the event is, and it really is the locals and, as we said, the volunteers and the people that are connected to the event that do such an awesome job that just keep bringing all these visitors back.
It's got to be a glowing endorsement as well to the fact that some of the best off-road riders in Australia come back every single year. Had a look at the entry list, and the top 10 from last year are all back again, and there's some high quality riders going around once again in 2019.
Yeah, look, I don't think we're going to be short of anything of another spectacular weekend out there. So if it's the action you want to see, or it's the colour, or it's just the desert, the way we race in it, or any other little attribute that goes with it, from the Friday night start-up right through to Sunday's senior competition and the juniors through Saturday, there's something there for everybody. And all I can say really is that if you've never been out to Hattah and it's in your own backyard, do yourself a favour and go out and have a look at it. It's just an amazing event.
Obviously, we're looking forward to another great event coming up at the start of July. John Kontrec, thank you so much for joining me today.
That's my pleasure, Mitch.
Thank you again for joining us for another edition of State of Play. Make sure you stay tuned to MilduraWeekly.com.au for more videos.